What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and today we are checking out the 10 figures that you should add to your Christmas list. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get straight into the intro. Also, before we get started, I want to let y'all know that I don't really know how the distribution in your area is. These are just figures that I know are mostly accessible for everyone. And, you know, these are all chug figures. If you guys do want a little more expensive style video, please let me know down in the comments. I will be sure to have that out if you guys want it. But for now, these are just deluxes through leaders, nothing crazy. You know, I don't know what situation your family is in terms of financial situation, so I tried to include a price point from everything just to keep your options open. But before we get started, I did want to let you know that A, I do have a stuffy nose, so sorry if I sound a little congested. Had to get this video out anyways. B, these are some honorable mentions, just some figures that I wasn't really sure to recommend or not. But you can definitely ask for any of these, but Megatron's really difficult to find. You know, he's just kind of tiny little stocking stuffer. Like, if you want to ask for him, cool. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. And Dreadwing, I love Dreadwing. He's great, except for the fact that his QC is terrible. Now, you can defend this mold all you want, and I know that I'm not, like, I don't like Skyquake because of this, and I really was hoping they fixed it with Dreadwing, but they didn't. So, you know, just be careful. Like, Dreadwing's still a really cool figure, but, you know, just keep in mind that his shoulders, they do happen. So, starting off, I think you should ask for a Legacy Gears. Legacy Gears has been my favorite deluxe to come out this year. It's been rivaled by a couple, and some that you'll see on this list. But Gears is just such a special little dude that I just had no idea that he was going to be this good, man. Like, the way he uses his shapes and all the panels to create a smooth alt mode was so impressive to me the first time I transformed him. The quality of this release is just so nice. I love the head sculpt. The cool little chest gimmick is neat. And he's 24 bucks, man. Like, you know, you don't have to find the... Again, you might not be able to find him for that, but those who can, please give this guy a chance if you haven't already. And the people who I have recommended this to have thanked me, man, because he rules, man. Like, he's almost always on my shelf, or on my desk, which says something. Now, a figure that I don't think anybody should have a problem finding is 86 Bumblebee. You know, when this guy first came out, I was a little hesitant, man. You know, he didn't look as good as the KBB, and I don't think he is as good as the KBB, but I think for a figure that's easily accessible to literally everyone, thank you, Hasbro, for actually stocking your figures. You know, I think he's a great release, probably the best Bumblebee you can find out there right now for the Hasbro. And, you know, I kitted mine out with some toy hacks, you know. I'll put toy hacks on figures that I don't think have enough detail, or figures that I really like, and this is the latter of the two. And, yeah, man, the toy hacks just makes them look even better with the blue windows. Help me reach 10K subscribers, and I can send you a set of these windows here. That would be a giveaway, so if you guys are interested, sub, and we'll get to it once we get there, man. But, yeah, man, Bumblebee's great. I like the robot mode. The alt mode's pretty but once you get rid of the second Autobot logo, it really makes a difference for me. And I like the transformation. It's pretty interesting, pretty intuitive. He's neat, man. I like him, and I think you will too. Now, I was actually debating recommending this figure over a couple other figures, but I kind of just had to, man, because animated Bumblebee is just so amazing. Listen, man, the head sculpt just rules. I love the aesthetic of this dude. He just feels so agile, and his posability is just fantastic. One of the best posers to come out. really in the entire Legacy trilogy, man. And for a tiny little deluxe, that's impressive. He's got a whole ab crunch. Of course, you have to untab the chest a little bit, and then you'll get it to crunch. Come on. There we go. You can do the crunch. He's got such awesome knees, toe, ankle, really everything you would want. Even a butterfly, which is just so awesome. I love it, man. I really, really love this release. He was one of the first, if not the first deluxe I picked up this year from Legacy United. And, you know, I'm just so happy with him. Like, there's nothing I regret about this figure. There's nothing that I really don't like about this figure. The transformation's fun. The alt mode's cool. I just really, really like him, man. Now, this is a figure that I think you could swap with any of these recommendations, or the honorable mentions. Now, here's a figure I think you could probably swap with the honorable mentions, but I still think that he's up there. It's Legacy Cannonball. Mine's got the toy hacks on it, making him look even more awesome. As you can see, he looks great. I think Cannonball is a pretty cool figure. Nothing super special. Again, we've seen the skits mold about 1,000,000 times, and, you know, I'm starting to get a little tired of it. But I think Crankcase was a pretty solid remold of him, and then giving us Cannonball from the crankcase, so cool. And I think this is a nice way to send off the skids mold, and, you know, say your final goodbye, and please don't give us any more Hasbro, because we're so tired of them. But Cannonball's cool, man. I really like him. I think the toy hacks just, like I said, they bring him to a whole nother level, and they fix the little door details. And if you do end up getting this dude, I completely recommend getting the toy hacks. They might be a little expensive for stickers, but their look is undeniable. And, you know, Cannonball is a fun, solid figure, cool accessories, cool alt mode, cool design, decent articulation, just a fun time all around. Good quality, too. Like, I think they improved this over the skids mold, where stuff doesn't always pop off, which is really nice. And so, yeah, I think you guys will like them a lot. Now moving up to the Voyagers, you're going to see a little bit of a theme for a second here. But starting off, we have Cybertron Starscream. You can find this guy at every Target, man. Him, Vector Prime, and Silverbolt, you can find him everywhere. He's super easy to find, which is amazing because this is, I don't know, he might be the best Voyager come out this year, man. He's just so poseable and so dynamic. Like, I can't show you through the camera. You just kind of have to mess with them yourself. And those who have it in person can confirm this. He's just really good. And he's just a fun time. I took my back pieces off because I think I put them in a drawer for some reason, if you're wondering where those went. But he's just so good. I've only got a couple little nitpicks with this release. One, that the shoulders kind of like to pop off sometimes. Where do they like to pop? They like to pop off during transformation sometimes. But I love all the little gimmicks and little things you can do with this dude. I think there's just so much with this guy that you get, and so much enjoyability with this guy, with all, again, the articulation is just phenomenal, man. He's just great. And yeah, I really like this release. And the last part of this theme is, again, another Cybertron Voyager, I know. But Vector Prime really impressed me. And for a figure that I somehow got for $14, I don't know why it rang up for, like, at Walmart for that much. But I don't know if you'll get it for that much. But Vector is just so cool. Vector is so cool. And I think it was such a genius idea to remold him from the G-Axis mold. I think he's such an improvement over an already really cool mold. The one thing I don't like is these hanging out and the shins. The shins probably could have just been flat or just resculpted a little bit. But outside of that, man, he's so cool. I know a few people haven't had the best luck when it comes to QC. I had a couple issues. As you can see, the knees are just slightly loose. But all of that can be fixed with some joint tightener. And, you know, once you get that fixed, dude, he's so cool. He's just so cool. Now, here's another one that I wasn't really expecting to recommend. Now, if you're a movie collector, this is right up your alley. He's just huge. Like, look at him next to Airazor, who's a big deluxe. He towers over Airazor. How about, I don't know, Legacy Cliffjumper? Towers over him. He's huge, right? And I think getting that as a bang for your buck is really cool. I like the details with the bronze. I like the gunmetal. I think that looks really cool. I customized mine for a metallic purple look, so that's why mine looks a little shinier than yours will. But I think a couple drawbacks of Shockwave, which is why I was slightly hesitant to recommend him, were of course his limitations with, you know, just the overall engineering of this figure isn't exactly impressive. But if you don't mind that, like me, I don't really mind that much. But you know, you might, which is why I was a little hesitant. I don't really mind it that much, and if you don't mind it that much, I think you'll find a lot of enjoyability out of this figure, man. Like, I just think he's super solid, super hefty, super big, and I think that adds to his charm, man, as just a presence on the shelf. Now, I won't get too deep into this one, because, you know, I've already talked about Gamer Edition Ratchet as many times as I have fingers on my hands, you know, probably at least 10 times, right? But I still think that, you know, if you haven't seen my other times that I've talked about this dude, he's super solid, super articulated, lots of engineering, really cool accessories, really cool paint. Like, there's not a lot wrong with this dude. I think they really found their footing with Gamer Edition with this release, and that just makes me even more excited for Ironhide because I love this mold so much, and getting Ironhide and arguably better colors in my personal opinion, oh, it's just going to be so awesome. But for now, I think you should ask for Ratchet, so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Now, number 9. And of course, I've already talked about this dude as well. But Tigerhawk is just so cool. He's probably the best leader to come out this year. Him or Sandstorm. I like Sandstorm, but I just think that Tigerhawk has this presence. Just this overall beastly, just, I'm the coolest thing on this planet. Maybe rivaled by one thing that could perhaps be on this list. He's just amazing, man. Like, what I haven't said already, just look at him. I'm struggling for words to describe how cool he is, and you really won't get an idea of how awesome he looks until you see him in person. I personally didn't see him ever until, I think it may have been July. Yeah, once I saw him in July, I was like, yeah, I gotta get this dude. So now I have, and I couldn't be happier. So hopefully you can get him, and you can feel the same way I do. Now, I understand that for the last figure on this list, this might be a little weird, because this figure's kind of older, but I think you can still find them for 35 bucks at most of your Targets. Who am I talking about? Dragon Megatron. Dragon Megatron just rules. What more is there to be said? The quality, the size, the presence, the colors. It's all there. And I've known a few people who aren't exactly the biggest fans of Beast Wars. A little bit skeptical about this release. Finally convinced one of them to get it. And it's one of his favorites in his collection, right? And if you are a little skeptical, just give the figure a chance. Even if you don't like it, you can return it. But I'm just asking you to give it one chance. Just give it a try. And, you know, it's 35 bucks, you know, 35, around 40 maybe, depending on where you get it. But he's super accessible, super easy to find. And for a big, hefty, super cool, well-painted, well-engineered, just awesome leader, I think it'll be worth your time and money, man. So yeah, dude, this is the 10 figures that I think you should add to your collection. I think you'll enjoy any one of these figures. They're all pretty great, which is why I'm obviously recommending them. Probably some of the standouts of the year. You might see 1 or 2 of these in the top 25 of the year. So yeah, man, hope you guys, you know, best of luck in getting some of these. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
That being said, Stellaris,